Hello everyone. Hope everyone can hear me well. Let me know if I need to up the microphone or bring down something or any adjustment. I think my microphone's a little low actually. Give me a second, I will fix that. Filters, gain, and add just a bit of gain. About 2 decibel. There you go. This should, yep, that's it. It's perfect. All right, so let's go through the chat. Hi Ken, Raven, Lucky Kevin, JD, nice. Sudbury Junction, hey. Earl, Jim, not Jim E, but Jim, JD. Just making sure. Great Northern, Squirrel. Alright, so the gang seems to be here. Good. I will actually add a little something that I forgot to add to my stream, which is a scrolling text explaining what we're doing tonight, because this is very different than what you're usually seeing on my channel, and I expect this. Let's go, so add text. Let's add the description from just a sec there. Don't want this actually. I'm going to do a feedback loop. I want to go through my channel and get the information. I don't want to type it twice if I already have the information typed in. Sorry for the quick feedback. Again, this is a new setup because I'm on a different computer right now, but that's perfectly fine. Everything is getting adjusted pretty quickly, so it shouldn't be too bad. So paste. No, it doesn't fit, but that's fine. You're seeing the behind the scene. I had quite a busy day today, so I didn't have time to do anything else. Alright, so we'll go select font, reduce the size to like 48, no, even smaller. 48. Okay, that should be perfect. Yeah, actually, it is. And now let's add a filter to add the scroll. So filters, add scroll. Okay. Horizontal, I believe. Yep. I usually put 100. So that's a little fast. Let's put 90. There you go. All right. So. Thank you for the compliment, GRE. Thank you, Great Northern. I will go through the chat and actually read. I was just trying. So I saw a question about Holly. While she's here, this is not her track plan. I will have to explain. This was the main idea for my basement layout. It's a little different than this, similar but a little different. And we will go through this. Then we will go through. We might start doing something for Holly, because what I did, we kind of scrapped it, and then her reply was not. I'll explain everything. It's gonna be easier. So we have. Just making sure, right, my mouse is showing up at 2 spots. Yeah, I didn't even have time to eat tonight. I've been running around today. It's been a busy day. So I ate a bit of plain white rice, and then I had to stop. So just let's start from scratch, honestly. Now that there's quite a bit of people already, 24 people, that's really nice. Thank you all for coming. So this is not going to be a recurring thing, but it will happen every so often. These will be exactly this, where we start with a track plan that's just an idea I have, either one of my layouts, my friend's layout, someone who already asked separately, something like that. And then we'll go through it, explain to it, and then I will offer the service of making a track plan for someone. As I put in the scrolling bar or in the description of the video, is all I'm gonna ask is a super chat. I'm not putting a minimum amount. I'm not putting a maximum amount, obviously. And with that super chat, though, to be able to do one with the super chat, I need at least 2 of the 4 requested information, which is scale and space you have to work with. After that, we will continue talking through the chat and having everybody's ideas bounce around, because even Dave's plan, it wasn't just me. A lot of great ideas were from someone else. I was just able to integrate them together, which I think is still a pretty good thing, but it's still multiple ideas together. So I'm not going to take full credit for that plan, since I'm not the only one who worked on it. They did a rough draft. I think it was Robert Menemenem that sent him a double track plan with similar dimension. Then I was talking with Dave and Fresno J. Fresno J proposed another idea, which was the yard. And then someone else in the comments of his video proposed the metro line. And all I suggested, my idea, was the third line that was separate but together. That was my idea, and then I brought them all together. That's what I did. So, for that reason, I figured we could do these once in a while. And this, again, this track plan is the original idea, not the final product of my basement layout, my main end scale. It is slightly different than this, but I'm okay with that. I'm very happy with it, with what I've done. There's still some improvements to do, but there's some changes coming, so that's fine. I saw that David is in here. Raven, Holly, nice. Just making sure I'm not missing anyone. And thank you all for the haircut. I saw a few comments. I was overdue. I did like my long hair, for anyone wondering, but I do a lot of mountain biking in the summer, where there's a lot of mud and dirt and grime and sweat, and it's not fun to maintain. So usually around this time of the year, it's it gets cut away, and usually it's a little earlier, but this time it was this time of the year, and then I let them grow until next year. So Holly, again, I did like the long hair. The problem was the maintenance when mountain biking, so I don't think it's that bad though. I never really liked myself, like my own look, but I've learned to accept and to appreciate certain looks, as in, well, this looks better than this. It's not that I think I look good, it's that I think there's things that makes me look worse than others, so I'm trying to stay in the least bad. But anyways, that's not the point of this stream. Actually, since Holly's already here, and I did promise Holly first, if you're okay with this, Holly, I will reveal the track plans, both of the track plans I originally sent you, and we will discuss in the chat. I will discuss in the chat, like, what you can actually type what you think, and what were your feedback. I can read the emails, but I don't want to read without your permission, Holly, because it was a private conversation and you're not on the spot. If you don't feel comfortable, say, hey Kev, not tonight, and that's where it'll end. If anyone asks anything, I'm gonna just say no. I'm fully understanding of that. It's yes, thank you. Folks have been waiting a long time to see my layout. Okay, so are you okay with me talking about the discussion we've had? I'm gonna show both designs, and I'm gonna, if you're okay, with discussing me telling the discussions we have, I will just do a short summary, and you'll be able to add in the chat. And from that point on, we will work around it. And I think that there's some stuff that in our discussion I realized I didn't explain well what I meant in the emails. So you might have seen restrictions or didn't see restriction that I was thinking of. Also, on one of the two I did do some scenery. That was purely for fun I was having with Jim. I had no changes to this one. Oh boy, where is your stuff now? Oh boy, where did I put that? Maybe in documents? Holly. Okay, so I'm gonna say close side. The first one that didn't have scenery on, well, not as much. And then I'll show the other one. So this, you're very, well, I mean, you don't grow a channel, a business, even friendships if you're not respectful. So that's the least I can do for people, right? I've been raised in treat the others the way you want them to treat you. So there's some people that I might not be as nice because I don't mind if they're not nice with me or they've been mean to me. But besides that, usually my way of thinking is treat them the way I want them to treat me, and that's why I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. So this was the first track plan I was designing with Jim. Again, credit where credit is due. This was built with me and Jim. It was a fully 50-50 design track plan. This original idea had, I'm gonna remove the, so we're gonna see, of course you're seeing here the pylons, what holds the track of touching the other one. The way we were talking, me and Jim, there's a way around this, and to avoid that, don't worry about it. So I got her dimensions available, which was 4.5 foot by 9 foot. She wants to run ON30. I've looked up the rolling stock she has, she told me she has, and it does 18-inch radius. We did a few things, me and Jim. This track plan, the idea was that there's 2 loops that never get in contact. That way, it either you could run 2 trains at a time, even on DC. They'd have to go both the same direction, but that would be your only restriction. And one of them would have an incline, the other one would stay flat. I always like when there's a loop that has an incline to have an alternate route that doesn't have it, so that you could just run it as is. So this track plan is basically what I have on my small N scale layout, which is it starts here, goes up the way around, goes all the way back, turns around, comes back down here. These are technically, according to the NMRA, in a decent distance, but even if they're a little too close, I'm not worried, simply because it's the same track, right? It's the same loop, so there's never going to be 2 trains at the same time here. Goes down, does the circle, and comes back. We have a crossover here, and it goes around, and this one stays flat and stays under. Now, evening Dave, and no, my little sister would have even longer hair than I had, so that doesn't work. So this was the idea for the first plan. First thing I didn't like, ON30 overhangs a lot off the tracks, and this is pretty close to the edge. Holly did mention that she had 3 of the 4 wall sides against a wall, which that's a separate discussion that we'll have later, but that avoids 3 of the 4s from falling off the table. And she also plans to have a plexiglass on the front side, which would save it from falling, but I don't know if there's enough clearance between the track and the wall here. So that was a big thing. A thing she did mention that she was worried is because there's a big section in a tunnel, she was worried that if something happens, she can't get to it. So there's two ways to go about it. Since this is a upper and lower level, you could have a hole there that you could, depending on how high the table is, you could duck under and go into the hole to have access from the middle. That's an option. The other option is what I was thinking first. Have the whole section on a separate piece of plywood that you can, and you have the tracks here cut but aligned, so that way you can remove that whole section to have access to what's underneath. There's no perfect solution here, but being that it's stuck in against 3 walls, those are the only 2 options that I have for you. Also, these solutions work with both layouts, by the way, not just this one. So that was the first idea. The perk of this one is there's a lot of space for all the buildings you want to put. Out from the wall far enough. Well, Holly, that could already help, honestly. But having the top part removable wouldn't be a bad thing. And if, depending on how well your nephew can build it, he could actually have hinges that it would lift and stay aligned. That's a separate story. So that was the first one. We had one siding to put a few cars there, but it's not big. You know, being HollyOn30, they take a lot of space. Each car takes a lot of space. So that would be the first one. The other one, file open, Holly, I called it Holly Simplicity because it's simple and it's a city. Holly Simplicity. All right, so this one, keep in mind the building, the forest, the lake, none of that actually has to happen. This was just me having fun. So technically the layout is the same idea. The difference is we, instead of using 3 different radius, me and Jim use all 3 of the same. We just put spacer tracks in between. Also, instead of having the line parking here, it's a siding here. So let me put in 3D. And this was the results. Again, the buildings are not to scale. The forest not to scale. Nothing is. It's just an idea. This one, the tracks are not as close to the sides. So that would be fine. It's more open in the back, so if pulling the table and having someone access the other side is something you worry about, this would prevent it. And this entire side could be open and accessible, so this is actually more viable with the restrictions you're telling me, honestly. This was my favorite in between the two, hence why I put the time to make some scenery. Could really easy to blend removable access. Yep, Sudbury Junction has a great point there. So in between the two, to me this is my favorite. Also, this one, the grade is a little less steep because me and Jim could move the bridge more to the left, meaning that the right has more space for the incline. It's 3.5% instead of 4. We put 4.25. Was it 4.25 or 4.5? I need to check the height, but that would allow you to have a 1/4-inch plywood. What about mounting? That could be an option. Dave, that's actually really smart. It could be much easier to bring in and out for the back. So to me, this was a winner. Again, not a yes. Well, okay, I'm saying yes. Me and Jim went onto the NMRA's website and looked up what they said was the standardized clearance to make sure everything clears, and that's where it is. if you have the locomotive near and you could measure from, put it down on a table and measure from the table to the highest point of the locomotive and tell me that height, we could confirm that it fits there. But since it's a 3.5% grade and not a 4, if that's not enough clearance but it's just missing a hair, we can increase the steepness to 4% and you'll be sure. So that would be the two track plans that we built, me and Jim. I do think this is the more fun one, but I'm not you, it's your layout to have the layout adjustable. So yeah, these were my two track plans. You decide what you want to do. I sent you both, and if you want to mix something in there and do something different, you can. Also, surprise, surprise, Holly, Jim promised me that he would generously donate the easy tracks that he has. He has some switches and stuff, and if you need anything, or if you don't have all the pieces, he has about everything to make this. So you will get this from him. And plus, being both, I don't even know if he's here tonight right now, but being that both are, you both are both in the States, the shipping's going to be much cheaper than shipping to me or Dave. So, or from me and or Dave. So for that reason, he has that expensive crossover here. Which actually is not a regular crossover, it's two turnouts to make sure the gap was fine. So you will have this, and if there's something missing, we'll figure it out, but otherwise you should be good. This, again, minimum 18-inch radius curves, because that's what Bachman said your rolling stock could do. The gap in between the tracks is perfectly fine everywhere except here and here. But again, this is the same track, so they're never going to be side by side. Everything else, the gap is fine. And that would be what you could have. So that would be the track plan. For the next track plan, since I didn't get any requests yet, what I'm thinking of doing is switching over to I know Holly, but since we could fit it, I was like, why not? Right? You can, so why not? And if you don't want to, it's completely fine. It also, you can always just park some train on that track, right? It's there available, but you don't have to. And what I was more worried about, oh yeah, right, the outside loop also has 22-inch radius instead of 18. So because right now your rolling stock all allegedly works with the 18-inch radius curves and the incline, but if later you find a super duper deal at a train show that you really want to get, but you go home and it ends up pickier and does not do the incline or does not like the 18-inch radius, you would be stuck with a piece of rolling stock you can't use. This, having 22-inch radius on the outside and being flat, gives you an option to run those trains anyways. So again, up to you. You do whatever you'd like, but you have the option now. The 18-inch radius should be fine, but 7 coaches is very heavy to pull up a grade, so maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't be the best. But yeah, regardless, that would be the option. So up until we get a request, in again, even the tiniest donation of a super chat, I will just redo my actual track plan for my end scale downstairs, because the one I showed like in the thumbnail and stuff, that's the original idea, not the end result. And I've made some modification over time, so I figured we could do that together. I can explain my train of thought while building it, and then if midway through I get a request from someone, I'll stop my own track plan and I'll get on the request. Sounds good? Hi, Kevin Peckrell. So, let's start a new track plan. I'm gonna explain the way I'm thinking when I build. Usually, I like to have the dimensions set when I have limitations. Yes, Mustache Mike, I did. I actually did. It was getting long. So, but since... Oh, I have a couple questions. Alright, let's open Dave's. Open. Crazy Large Dave, N Scale Final. Me and my names. There you go. Let's go, Dave. I'm all here. I'm all ears. All right. Couple questions. But someone taking the sweet time to type. You know you have a limit of characters. You have to send multiple messages, right? Squirrel, it was the layout that was crazy and large. I will show at some point an idea in mind of something that I did on the side that was even crazier than this, but that's a different story. Bottom left, double viaduct. Can we swap out that for basic concrete double curve? Here we can. The reason I had put this was simply because I had this extra piece here and I wanted to give it to you. Same for these curves. You don't have to be a viaduct. You can be just the full ground. The reason I didn't put this, why can't I see the layers? What is this? It's not showing. Oh, there, that's why. So I'm gonna show up all three layers. The simple reason, so I don't have the transitions, I only have this. You could, but just to let you know, they are compatible with regular transition. You don't need the bridge transitions. You can, but you don't need to. What I wanted to say about this is, if you do... Oh, towards something. Yes, I will when she's fine. Long story short, I'm not gonna get into her personal life, but she'll have to. She won't be able to for a little while, but we will. Don't worry. So the other reason I put this, other than the bridge, was to have the tunnel for the metro line come out earlier. If you want to use regular track here, you would need to have the tunnel come out within there. Perfectly fine, just less visible point. And I don't have an example up right now. I can't. Oh, of course, just when I want to. I don't have any images, but there's places where trains go through under bridges of other trains, like in big cities, because they're just stacking stuff. And that's what I had in mind when I built that part, is just a busy city that had multiple things going on at the same time. Montreal actually has a spot like that. I'm gonna look it up on Google Maps and try to find it. Maps.google.com. When I took the train to Montreal a few times, when we get into the station, actually, it where is it now? Pont Victoria. It's it. Alright, so there you go. Alright, I'm gonna show you. Don't worry. Is it here? Yeah, it's here. So do I have a good angle of this area? Okay, so of course it's a person on a bike that was doing that section, and it's making it harder to actually show. I will still bring it up here so you guys can see it. So Montreal, right there. That's actually a better view. Of course, we can't get on that side. Let's hope that we can see from here. Of course, the person's there. Of course. So, this is what I meant. This above, that's a train track in Montreal, and there's another one there. This is lower than this. So there's two levels of train tracks right there. I can see it better on the map, actually. Like, right there. Right here. So that's what I was picturing in my mind when I designed this area. It's not at all the same thing, but that's what I was picturing. Hi, Alex. So yeah, and there's plenty of places that they do this where they just stack trains one on top of the other. Again, we can absolutely remove it. It's the same radius as regular concrete. I have the middle part here that I can give you, and I will give you. The transitions, I don't have a spare, and they're not cheapest, but they're not the most expensive. I'll figure something out with you, Dave. Either you get these or we'll figure out some way to avoid it, but at least if you can get that bridge, that's gonna... Well, I'm giving you that bridge, you should be good. The subway siding I ordered, is it wide enough for the center platform? Absolutely. Actually, the one I made you buy was one that was specifically made for the subway siding in the middle. It's wider. It's a wider gap than normal here. So what I call a normal gap is this. What's in between two number 4 tracks. Oh, already? Wow. Nice. And here as well. This is even wider than the platform station, but this, the gap in between with the pieces you ordered plus the ones you had, this is the perfect dimension, the perfect spacing for a platform. It actually has the Kato, it's the perfect spacing for the Kato one, which you don't have to buy, but it is a thing. So yes, it is perfect. Any more questions, Dave? Because this is your track plan, and this is your crazy track plan, actually, at this point. And again, every layout that I make are I'm good, you may move on, perfect. Again, as I said, every layout that I make is subject to change. I'm giving you a track plan that's an idea. You can either follow it or do something else with it. Even myself, I will reopen it first. File, open, Kevin, basement and scale final, which nope, no change. So this was supposed to be the track plan. This area didn't change because that was already made. The area above, which is here, partially actually didn't change, but will change later. We'll see that another time. This whole back siding doesn't exist. Warranty void if plan is altered by user. Exactly. I'm not guaranteeing that your alterations will make it work, but you can. It's yours, right? You have right to repair. The bridge above the track and in the curve, that didn't change. That back curve didn't change. This idea here didn't change. What did change was the length of this section, the angle of the underneath section, the section under there, like how steep it was, and this yard. It's completely different now. So this was a base. I also added a second line here. This was the base. it, like I said, it changed. The reason this was pushed that way was because when I cut my wood, I completely mismeasured somehow, and I cut way too close there. So that was a thing, so I adapted to it. Then with the space I had and the radius I put, I did some tuning. I added a second track on the outer bottom loop there, and yeah, Sean, yeah, I mean, I made hundreds of plans as well before, and a lot of times just for fun. So we will redo this plan from scratch to represent what I have in the bottom up until we have more requests. But before that, I just want to show the track plan I had made. I was like, if Dave didn't have a limit, did get into that Kylie fight with a weed whacker? Yep, yes I did. Where is it? Is it this one? Yep, it's this one. So this has 4 layers. This is if Dave or me had no budget or space limitation, or sorry, maybe some space limitation, but not as much. I took the idea that we have, and I expanded just a bit. I will explain to you what I did. So I kept the station as we planned here, with the underneath station. The track plan on this side didn't change. That stayed the same. What did change, which a lot of things did, the metro loop is also connected to a what is it called? What's the name for this? A tram loop. They would be connected and have some turnarounds like this, and they would cross each other. It would go onto the street, do some street running, and that tram loop would actually climb over everything and over the mountain in the back. And this is where Dave's closet is, so that wouldn't even work. Like, he can't even use that space. And I expanded this area, and with this is what you'd see if it was molded around it. As you can see here, you'd have a lot more stuff going on with the tram, the metro loop having some on-road action, and then coming back out the metro loop. This would cross over each other, but that would be the only crossing that we would have to watch. And then, but we wouldn't have to go there. The train could come down, go around, and go back up. And then that's a steep grade, but it's a tram, so it's fine. It would go up over everything and go run around up there in this area on the, what is it called? Why am I so bad with words tonight? With another tram area that could have been another city. I altered the back here. Instead of coming down sideways, it went back straight. And the bottom loop would do an S, so that this train track, the single line, would actually go over it twice. It has another bridge here, and it would turn around there. This is not happening anywhere. This is me having fun creating some crazy track plans. I usually like to take an existing idea and modify it. I find it much easier than to start from scratch, quite frankly. So runs under Linux. So by the way, this is not Linux. This is my technically not my only computer with Windows, but it's one of my, I have 2 computer with Windows and 4 with Linux. This is one of the 2 with Windows. So this was the craziest track plan. This is not happening anywhere. I was just having fun. But yeah, so let's start from scratch, new. And I don't know the exact dimension of the workbench downstairs, but what I do know is the exact track plan and what pieces I used. So as opposed to usual, where I usually do the outline first, this time I will do the actual track plan first, and then do the bench work around it to make it fit. Also, I don't have the ability to do curves. Like, I did a few curve cut on my bench work. I can't do that here, so it'll be a little bit more rough. But this is so this is gonna be where we start. So Kato, again, the stuff I use in my questions: area size, which whoops, I messed it up. Scale, end scale, type of track. I'm gonna do a mix here, but it's gonna be code 80. And then rolling stock to use about everything. So it needs at least one loop that is pretty open. So to start, we're gonna start with the back portion, because that part I know very well. Sometimes I might not use the exact same piece, but I know it's an equivalent. Like, instead of using a flex track, I might, and to make it parallel to another flex track, might use two Kato unitrack piece and then replace them. But you'll see what I mean. So let's start with the back straight, which is around here. Then we're gonna do the back curve, the double curve. What I did, and I like to do, is my easement into the, what is it called? The super elevated curves. I buy one radius up. So, like, in the middle of the curve, the radius is 11 and 12 inch. Well, then it's 15 and 16, the next size for that. Well, I buy the 15 and 16 on the outside. Oh, Jim, nice. Oh, unacceptable. You can't do that to me, man. So yeah, I'm gonna do the, I usually have the easement, not only an easement for the super elevated, but an easement into the curve by having a wider radius. So let's go for the next level, next in size, which is this one. We're going left. Then we're gonna put the track I use for the curve. So this, I'm gonna have to move it a bit. No. So then this one, oh, wrong piece. This piece right there, and then another easement. Right, and this is the back corner. This is a piece we know is the proper piece. I will have to go downstairs and verify. I'm not sure actually how many pieces of track here I use for the straight. Neither do I for the back. I'm so bad. Boy. What I can do is I'm gonna have to come back in like 15 seconds. I'll just need to go check and take notes of every single, that's my personal phone, perfect. Every single pieces of straight I'm using there, so that I can reproduce the exact same thing. And I'll be right back. So let me run downstairs and be right back. So, pro tip for anyone who does what I'm doing: when you're, instead of remembering, just take pictures of your layout, which I just did, and use those pictures to look at the track pieces you use. So, for the front straight, I used, that's a 248 mil here. Alright, so then it's, okay, it's directly into this piece, which is where is my light? It's supposed to be right there. Oh, here. Light, which I will be getting more of later. I really like these pieces. Okay. Then it's the railroad crossing for, I know, Dusty. Alright, so we're gonna have a guest appearance of a cat, maybe? I don't know how well you'll see him. But, alright, so after this one is, right, the railroad crossing, which is this one. Then it was, I took another picture for that section. There's 248, and I think so. Yep. 248 mil. 62. I know 64. Hey, wrong one again. 64. 248. 30-inch radius. 13-inch radius. Going that way at 30 degrees. A number 6 turnout. 30-inch radius. 13-inch radius going that way. Then a number 4 turnout. No, number 4. So I put, then we need the adapter track because it's a number 4, which is a 60. I put a 38 mil there, and 64 as auto recommends. Then I put 13-inch radius on the outside, another rerailer because they're always useful, and 2 more 13-inch radius, 45 degrees. And now we're back. Let's just adjust like so. And now we can see that it's not exactly fitting, but my track isn't perfectly straight. So this is this is awkward. Now I look bad. I look like I don't know what I'm doing, which I don't technically. But now you know my secret. And I'll always do a good job at making the track. So this was a piece of 248 mil. Then a crossover. Oh, wrong track. So then that's where it gets a mess. I took a picture, but it's 1 248, 2 248, then I'm not sure. Oh boy. This makes sense. Alright, so this... Did I take a picture of this? I think I did. So I don't remember my track line as much as I thought, apparently. It's a 12-inch radius for sure. But I thought I had it straight, and I don't remember the length. I'm pretty sure it's a 64 mil. So 12-inch radius, 15 degrees. Then it was a 64 mil. And a number 6, like so, and hobbies with math. Have you used any rail, and so which one do you prefer? I have. I'm more used to SCARM. I wouldn't say it's better, but I'm more used to it. The problem is with AnyRail, I use both of them for a long time as the free version, and the free version is very limited. This one has a 50-piece limit, and AnyRail is 25-piece. So I got used to SCARM because of the higher limit, and when SCARM got on sale, I bought it, which is why I ended up with it. AnyRail has slot car tracks, so for the HO scale, for the HO scale with slot cars, AnyRail is just better for that. But I don't. A lot of people prefer AnyRail for the way FlexTrack works. I don't. I'm more used to this one, so that's one thing. And this one, I have the license, so I have unlimited track pieces. I don't have that license with AnyRail, so 25 pieces is very limited. So yeah, from this point on, this has a piece of straight, which is 124. Then an 11-inch radius. Is it 124 there? I think so. Wow, I'm on the spot and I don't remember my layout as nearly as well as I thought. Alright, so then it's the adapter track to Atlas. Then we need the Atlas track, so N scale, code 80, 2.5 inch, and a 30-degree crossing, like so. Then I put, this is where it went a little crazy on me. I put a 11-inch radius, 15-degree, and then a turnout, which was a Pico actually. But for simplicity's sake, we're gonna use the Atlas one because I had to do some tweaks with the Pico one, which is gonna be complicated to redo. Like so. And this. Now here, we're gonna put the Y that I have, like so. And then this is gonna follow this. I put a flex track there because it was simpler to do a smooth curve. So this would need to be 2 5-inch straights. And that's gonna be a piece of flex track that curves there. No. Wow, I should have came prepared for this one. I did not plan this to be this hard. Yeah, Holly, very different. Very, very different. This is alright, Sudbury Junction, no problem. Thank you for coming. Can you duck down and move to the left, please? Duck down and move to the left. Or the other left. Not sure what you're trying to see. Oh, I just understood you. I've been working on this corner. You can't see it. Oh my god. That is embarrassing. Wow. So this has this has auto unit track here, a 248, then the adapter track, which is this one right there, and then I put flex track for this Atlas flex track. As you can see, it works. Of course it's flex track. I don't know why. I was like, I'm ducking, but what does it? Yeah, make no sense. So this one is all Kato, so that's another 248, probably a 64, and number 6 turnout. That I know. And then that's a 13-inch. that I know. With 30 degrees. And now, what did I put there? I just want to check something. Yeah, it's missing 15 degrees and I don't remember. I did take a picture of this. So pictures. Huh. Did I not use... I might have used a full 45 degree there. Yeah, that's what it is. There you go. Then I put a 62 mil and the adapter track, which is this one. I put a turnout, an Atlas one there. Atlas. So, and then from there, it's a piece of flex track that you can put in multiple steps. So I did something wrong because this should not be... No, something is wrong there. There should be another piece of straight here. How did I mess that one up? This is a line, so that makes sense. This is a line. Huh. What did I do wrong there? Oh, I know why. Never mind. It's not a piece of flex track. This doesn't make sense. How did I mess this one up? That's 1 1/4 inch. Then a curve. Okay, let's work our way back. So 1 1/4 inch. Oh no, that's 5/8. 1 1/4 inch. 7-inch radius there. And yeah, that does the line. Alright, so this is not working the way I'm used to, and of course being on stream, I can't think properly about this. Does anyone have any track plan requests or something that I can make for you? It's easier to start from a bench work than start from this. I feel a little stupid now. I wanted to help people by making my own track plan, and it turns out I made it worse. So let's work with something that I can just work out of. Dimensions, whatever, just send me a request. I'll make something for you. And within reasonable size there, but you can... if I can't make mine on a heartbeat, I can't make yours this quick, Jim. You're the only one I think I'm gonna block from making it. Okay. Both Jim and Jay, I want to make a layout from scratch within dimensions, redoing an existing track plan when I don't even know what track pieces you are, and we all know that you three, well us three, have made work things that didn't actually align, and this looks horrible on that software. Look like if it was shaped now, or maybe an L shape. Oh, Holly has an actual question. Alright. Let's erase everything because there's no point. So, alright, so narrower and maybe an L shape. So, when you say narrower, so still, you mean like you wouldn't? Okay, I have some ideas in mind there. Give me a second. I'm gonna make. Yeah, I'm doing that idea, Jim. That's gonna be an actual idea. Thank you, Holly. So workbench is always where I like to start. I'm gonna still put the 4.5 by 9, but we're gonna try to work within that because those are the absolute limits of your layout. So baseboard rectangular. Might be able to get 5 feet for the short side of the L. For the short L side. Okay, let's do absolute coordinates. So we start at 0, 0 plus. Then it's gonna be 9 foot, so 108 inches by 0. For simplicity's sake, we're gonna do 48. So 4.5 foot is 54 inches. So 54. We will reduce it afterwards. Like so. Come back to how deep would the short side of the L could it be? Could we do 2 foot deep or 3 foot deep? How? Because let's say 36 there. 36. We're gonna go down to 5 foot, so it's gonna be 60 inches. And 0. Then we're done. There you go. So now let's fit it into size. There you go. So this is not the L shape you meant. I know this is not. This is much wider. Actually, we're gonna do something. We're gonna clear it up and do something all different. 0, 0 plus 0, 108, 8 plus. So, oh, wrong direction. Minus. Let's clear action. 0, 0 plus 108, 0 plus. We're gonna do 40. Since you have minimum radius of 18 inch, we want, so you double that. That's 36 to do a turnaround, which we're gonna need. You want continuous running, which I understand. We're gonna do and we want a bit of gap, make sure, because the 36 inch is from the middle of the track to the middle of the track, so we need at least 40. So 40 inch wide. Then that's gonna go across to another up until there's 40 inch, like so. 60 inches to go down the L, 0, and done. So this is suboptimal, but we're going to tune that, and we're going to actually reduce the workbench in this area. Let's just work from there. We might even be able to dig a bit here, like do a small, but we're not going to get there yet. Let's just start by doing something similar to I made to my friend's layout. You know, the what he has, which is a figure 8 that's stretched, and then an optional over and under. Let's start with that. So we're done with this, and we said Bachmann easy track and HO scale. So Bachmann easy track. The S means steel. Oh, right. Thank you. So when we choose these the type of track in HO scale, there's 2 Bachmann. There's an S, which is nickel silver, and S, which is steel. The steel ones are the black roadbed. The nickel silver are the gray roadbed. Well, let's go with because there's more pieces, we'll just use the nickel silver. It's fine either way. So let's start with a 36 inch in the back. So you need so 1 foot. 1.5 is here, like so. We're gonna turn around with 18 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's give the frame a little bit of a straight piece, and then let's go towards the inside. I'm missing some parts there. Oh, nice. Raven, you're gonna hang out with Holly. Nice. So this layout plan will look very similar to what I did for my friend, but we'll we'll work with it. So let's put 8, 10, extra 10 degree more, have a 9-inch, and then let's come back. The reason I absolutely want a straight piece here in the S-bend is the S-bend, when you have S-bends of two curves directly into each other and the couplers are body mounted, I just want to imagine this is one car, this is the other car, this finger is the couplers. When they do S-bend, they're like this. One car, you know, they arrive like this, then this one turns. The back of the cars are completely offset, and this yanks the couplers off the track. By having a straight piece, they never yank each other in between. So that's why I like to put a straight piece in between, and the length of the straight piece depends on the length of the rolling stock you want to run. That's why I do this. Let's go straight for a little bit, and this as well. 18-inch. Go for it, Dave. I want to see what you want to say. I'm curious now. You can't say that and not saying must not allow any yanking. If you have better words to explain what I just said, be my guest. But I don't know how to better explain this. So I want to use as much space as we have. Let's put another 4.5 here. 15, why not? What's our okay, I'm talking about cars, beef. I'm already not sure if this is gonna work because the switchback, which needs a straight, yeah, no, that's not gonna work, unfortunately. We could not go as deep there to make the switchback less angled, but the problem is we're gonna have a bunch of empty space there. So, and then a straight piece. That could work. Don't like it, but it could work. So I know I'm over the limit, but we can make it work. If we remove even more. Alright, so let's add these three. Let's remove this. So yeah, that shortens the back straight a lot, but there's some ideas coming. We might be able to work the wood to expand a bit, actually. So let's put a turnout here. So, and let's put 18-inch radius there. So now, all right, this is something I can work with. What do I do? So for these pieces not being properly aligned, the trick is you go way too far, and then you align the pieces with them, align the rails like so. And now that it's aligned properly, you can measure it. So I'm going to use a tape line. I'm going to start from the edge of the track to the edge. So 3.25 approximately, right? And this one is, let's start from the edge of the track to the other. 4.75. All right, so we have random pieces to make that. So we said 4.75 for here, so we're gonna wonder this. Let's do 3.175, and this we said 2.25, so 1 and 1.1. Oh no, what did I say? 2 and 1.25. Yep, 3.25. So like this, we would have a over and under. Oh, what did I do? Nope, wrong button, wrong button. Just making sure that what I'm planning right now makes sense electrically before committing to something. No, this does not make sense electrically, so this turnout has to go. We're gonna put a regular turn, and obviously this is there. Let's put another small piece here. So is a 2-inch gonna fit? Yep. So we attach them. There you go. All right. So again, put curves. Yeah, that's what I'm just doing a base and then I modify it mustache mic. That's usually how I work. I start with something simple and I'm like, okay, I could add this here, I could remove this here. That's usually how I do things. All right, like so. Let's put another straight here, so 9-inch, and I'm gonna again do my trick. So this is gonna be a 36-inch. Again, I know it's too long. I just want to align stuff to measure. So let's move this one to the proper alignment. And is it proper? No, needs 1 pixel up. There you go. All right, so let's remove this one. Measuring tape from the edge of the track to the other edge. So 2.75. This one, oh boy. I'm gonna put the 2. So 2.75. Now this, I'm gonna put an 18, a 9, and then we're gonna measure. Edge of the track. So 5.5 inch about, so 4.5 and 1. There you go. So now this is not actually complete. Of course, the incline isn't made. The curves are there's a bunch of empty spots. The workbench is flawed, but there's potential to grow from here. I did say earlier, so let's go back to full size. While I did like the idea of the 4.5 inch here, I don't like how there's not enough straight in the middle there. So we're gonna move this here, like so. This doesn't affect anything. Now, how can we integrate something more to it? I'd like... You have some limitations in terms of size, and folding it more doesn't always work here. Because I could try, every time I try, it's not wide enough to do a full... I don't like that I'm limited, but I like the upper part to go more, well, that way, you know, more in this corner. I need to find a way to make it go more in this corner. Just a sec. And move this out of the way. So let's go for it. At this point, it doesn't matter. Just one. It's so tight. No, doesn't work. And I don't like going any shorter than a 9-inch for an S-bend. That's the problem. Hi, Colleen. So what can I do here? Especially with ON30, the swing of the car is not going to work in an S-bend. Well, it could, but it's not optimal. It's really not optimal. If anything's remotely long, they're not going to take the S-bend very, very nicely. What to do? What to do? The other option, let's leave it there. And let's work the bench around so we can... so if we remove this and this, they're gonna come together like so. Now you're gonna tell me, but Kevin, you're making it shorter. What are you doing? You're... Trust the process. We're gonna try to squeeze at least an alternate route. Oh boy, no, it doesn't fit. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. It has to be. But it's so tight for HO. So tight. Let's fit it back into the screen. Let's do the incline and let's put it in 3D and see if I can visualize something else. So let's put this as the bridge. Actually, I'm gonna... No, it was good. This is the bridge. We're gonna add some height, which was 4.5 inches. That's gonna be a very, very steep incline. So if I put 4.5, 4.5, that's 3.7% incline. So it's actually less bad than I thought. So the bridge is going to be entirely 4.5, so 4.5, like so. Oh. Why are you like this? So then we're going to take the back section. No, not that. So. And add these to it. Like so. Ayo, you as well. We're going to go at 4.5. Alright, so I didn't take enough pieces. Let's start here just to see if it helps. There you go. Same incline. Let's see in 3D. So don't mind this this part. You can do a wider bridge, but this is much simpler. This is a much simpler design, but you're not gaining much track time. If anything, you're limiting yourself to 18-inch radius. It's your layout. You do what you want. I think this is more limiting, so I wouldn't recommend it. At the same time, this is simpler to build. Hi, Round Valley. Thank you, Matt. So this is why I'm not sure. You like it? Well, again, it's not a bad design. I think it could be optimized better. Simply, right? It feels like it's empty. So what we're gonna do here is optimize the workbench at least. So let's put a pin here. Insert new point. Let's leave it where it belongs. And then insert new point here. This one's gonna follow the track there. This one's gonna follow the track there. So this would solve some access issues. That's for sure. Like that. It would solve some access issue. Push a track further to the back or of the layout. It's a great start for someone just getting into the hobby. You can definitely add more, but where do you mean, Jim? Because the wall is right there, and if I go further, I'm going into the incline. Underpass further back. Yeah, but I'm hitting the incline. I was thinking of I had some ideas here. Well, I'm gonna show. I'm not disregarding what you're saying because it's a good idea, Jim. But I do have something else in mind. I want to show you my idea first, and then you tell me if it makes sense for you. So we're gonna move this one there, this one here. We're gonna put this here, and we're gonna remove some pieces. All right, so this was probably not a bridge. Maybe 225. 211. 1.5. How is that not merging? There you go. Sometimes you just need to squeeze them in. So if we put then another 10 degrees here, we can put another turnout there and another 18-inch radius here. And I know I'm gonna have to modify the incline, but at least HollyOn would have some storage space for trains. It's not much, but it is something. And this would have to stay. So I need to include this with the. Alright, let's start here for the incline. Like so. And then we're gonna go all the way here. And let's reset it to 4.5. Then this is going to be part of the bridge. So by doing this, don't mind the slightly over here. So this could be an option. You could have a small yard here. We could also remove one of the two tracks and do what Jim said, which is push this a little further back. That could be an option as well. Do you want two sidings or just one, Holly? Actually, I just had an even better idea. Give me a second. Give me a freaking sec. Oh, right. I can't put it there because there's a... can you put an N scale circle in there? You can put an N scale circle here. You can put an N scale circle there. It would fit about anywhere there. So what we could do, let's follow Jim's idea. Which we're gonna remove this. We're gonna remove this. And remove all of this. And remove this. This. Let's put a full 9-inch straight there. Not a bridge. Kevin, stop with the bridges. Sorry. And so don't mind the height of the track. That is incorrect right now. That's completely fine. We could potentially fit this here actually. Let's put that one. No, not there. I want it here. Okay. Actually, let's do this. I want to check something. This isn't no, this is bad. Alright, so let's remove that. Let's put some straights. I'm gonna put way too long, as I usually do. And then again, way too long. And we're gonna align a curve there. I'm gonna go 45 degrees instead of 15 degrees instead of 10. I think they work better. It's easier to understand the math. 15 and then 0. So good night, David. Thank you for coming. So let's do this and 15 as originally planned. 15 here. Let's align stuff. So I wanna remove this one and realign with this turnout, because I do think we can do something with this. All right, now let's measure. I'm gonna put an 18-inch here because I know that's gonna fit. And then we're gonna measure for the adapter. Same for this. 18. Oh wow. Oh, that's close. All right. Let's see if I can work this so we don't have to. No. So it's gonna be 9-inch and 4.5. So it was probably 18. So 3, and now I need to measure. Two. All right. There you go. Now I need to measure this one. So 10.75. All right, so let's go here. So 1.75. And apparently I mismeasured. I'm gonna put a 1.5 instead. No. 2. I'm gonna remove the bridge because it's in the way. Oh no, I was right in the first time, so 1.75, and I need to lower that section. This is a bridge. Please be a bridge. This is no longer a bridge. Alright, so we need all of this to go down to 0. And that makes this a lot less steep. Now we can put another turn here. This is also going to be a bridge. We're going to adjust the incline again. And this is going to be a straight piece. Oh, not a bridge, but a straight piece. Then we're going to put a bumper. And now you have a place for your boxcar, Holly. And again, we need to adjust the track height for the incline here. Let's start here. Let's just grab everything there. Add all of this. Oh, come on. There you go. So let's bring it down to 0 and then 4.5. That's a 4% incline. Pretty steep, but doable. We could start here if we wanted to, just to reduce the incline a bit. Let's do that. Ah, what did I do? Oh boy. Let's select everything. No. So add all of this. No. Then 4.5, 3.7%. I mean, I'll put it where it was, simply because they sell 4% grade kits, so it would be much simpler to work. And so this is very simple, but very effective. You'd have more access to the back from here. You'd have a lot more access, actually. So this is another option, Holly. This is a much simpler option, but another option. What do you think? Of course, you have a lot of buildings, you said. You have some models of other stuff. It's really up to you. You love it? Alright, well, I'm going to send you a copy of this. Again, this is a simple figure 8. It's nothing crazy, but it works. And Woodland Scenics, like I said, sells some 4% grade kit. Wait. Oh, wait, what? Wait. I'm waiting. I need it in the canal. I mean, where, in which, so I read your comments about the canal, but I forget. Add another switch just under the bridge. We could. I will need a reminder of more information, Holly, for the oh, not this. For the canal. What were your requirements for said canal? Why aren't you just up in there? Turn out from the bottom. Move this. And then we can add in next time. See, everyone said I was great at making track plan. So far, all the better ideas were from Jim, so. So I need the track to be further out. Needs 6 inches on the 4.5. Alright, my tiny brain is trying to process this request. Just give me a second there. So on the side, that's 4.5. So this is 5 foot, by the way, because you said you could on that side go a little further. The track. So I need the track to be further out. The canal needs 6 inches on the 4.5 edge. Well, I am tired because I do not understand how to design this. Shoot. I am not sure how I can place this. Oh yes, well, the canal is about 6 inches wide and 4.5 foot long. Oh, so it's a pre-built piece. Oh. Yes, it's a pre-built piece. Ah. Because this is 40 inches deep. This is just over 24 inches. This actually could be 24 inches if we wanted to, for access, you know, to keep everything safe. And this is 40 inches as well. All right, good night, Matt. Thank you for coming. No, I understand now, Raven. It's I understand the piece. Like, it's a pre-built 6-inch wide by 4.5 foot deep, but this doesn't work anymore. And if it's made for 4.5 foot, I don't think this L shape's gonna work at all. Doesn't mean we can't simplify the other design, but this is not gonna work for your canal. at all. Oh boy. All right, let's try number 3. On the inside of the benchwork. Yeah, but then it's not going to be long enough. That's the problem. Can't you just move? If I move the crossing anywhere, I'm going to lose. The incline's going to get too steep on one side. I mean, that would work, but because this is more than 4.5 foot. I mean, I guess this is not steep, so I can reduce. So 4.5. I can remove 6 inches from this. I'm just scared for the incline. So let's start over like so. Now let's take all of this and bring it up to 4.5, 4.5. That's 3.7%, so I guess the grade is fine. Meaning that this does not have to be 5 foot deep. Let's put it at 4.5 foot like you requested. Now, since it's 6 inches wide, we're gonna do some movie magic there. We're gonna do objects. No, figures. Rectangle. Well, let's do from 18 to 24 and go across here. So vertical position, we want it flat. Height, we want 0.1 because it's a canal, it's not, you know, high. Let's call it blue for a river. I know a canal is not necessarily a river, but that's fine. And oh, I forgot properties. Snap terrain to bottom. So this could be a thing, right? Which edge would you prefer to have it? Because I think having it in the middle is actually simpler to make the bridges for most of the straights. This is the proper length. What I would do, just so that it's simpler, let's start by putting it all at inch thick foam. Then we'll redo the incline from 1 to 5.5. Let's raise the whole tracks, like the whole track setup, by 1 inch, as if you had 1 inch foam all around, except for the, so 5.5. 5. Now this is 5.5. Nope, this and this. .5, and then this, this, is going to be 5.5 as well. There you go. That way, you have all of them are above. It's simple, it works, it's all 18 inch. The only downside to this track plan is that it's all 18-inch radius. Meaning if you get some coaches that really swing wide, they might have a problem. So you can do scenery on each side of the canal. You can do scenery in the back. What I could suggest is you could make, I'm gonna, give me a second there. So rectangle here, like so. Vertical position is gonna be 1 inch. Height, we're gonna do, I don't know, 8 inches because 6 inches. Color, we're gonna do gray. Okay, snap terrain to bottom like this. This could be a business that takes the, what is it called, the boxcar, as if it was like an industry. You can buy a kit and just use some walls of said kit, so that could look great as an industry for there. Is there still room from the Ed scale circle on the right side? Absolutely. So I'm gonna put Kato unit track because it's the simplest to work with. It's like easy track but better. And well, it's a decorative industry. You wouldn't actually do switching, but it would make more sense to have freight cars parked there if there's a building. Do you already have N-scale easy track, Holly? Hi, Russ. That's for me to know and for you to find out, Russ. You already have... Alright, let's do... I didn't know you had easy track and N-scale already. Alright, Bachman easy track right there. So, do you know... Oh, it's a train kit. Alright, it's probably 11 inch then. Just to show you. N-scale does not take space and it's freaking great. So I'll make it an oval actually because I know it'll fit. Let's put a let's be ballsy. A 10 incher. And if it doesn't work, I'll readjust it. Because that's the beauty of TrackMan. You're not wasting money on tracks if it ends up not working. Alright, let's rotate it a bit. Rotate. Oh. Like so. And now let's bring it up at, I don't know, 2 inches high. Like so. So you would have that spot that way, which you could do. The other option would be to, oops, I said 2 inches. I said 2 inches. Why are you being fussy? 2. Well, see, that's another idea. You can actually bring it to 3 inches instead, and have this as a bridge if you want, like so. You could do something like that. I'm assuming, Jay, you mean something like this. I know I don't have specific types of bridge, but that's a possibility. So there's that, and you really don't have to, but what I'm thinking as well is, if it fits here, you could replace those. Let's rotate it a bit more. Okay. We could have these two as bridges and not these two. And even if you wanted to, Holly, you could make one of these corners a tunnel or something. Like, let's say these three are a tunnel. And the track height is actually good. You could actually go wild and do this as a tunnel as well. Holly goes wild by making tunnels all around her layouts. So I know you said you wanted the end scale on the other side, which would work perfectly, and like Jay said, you could put a trestle or a bridge in the curve. But if you want your end scale to cross your little well, not your little, but your canal, if you want your little end scale to cross the canal, it would barely fit, but it would fit. What I'm worried a bit though is how close these are. So we might not want, oh, what did I do? We might want to instead put a whoops, that's a tunnel. I want a bridge. So 5-inch and I don't know, 2.25 and 1.125. Those are the same kit. I bought that before actually. This, okay. Don't want this to be a bridge though. Like so. This we're gonna do 1.125, 225, and 5, and make these three a bridge as well. And this, while being a little shorter of a straight, solves the clearance issue in this side. I mean, it could, but it would be even nicer to have a straight, at least. Maybe not these pieces, but at least have the 5-inch straight. It would just look nicer, I think. It's nice that the train goes a little bit straight, right? So this could work. If you're like, I don't mind if the end scale is a small loop, I just want them to be on the layout. You have the spot for a small oval there. If you're like, you know what, I'd like to have a bit more straight pieces, I'd put it on this side. Both sides would work. You've seen both. It's really up to you now. You decide what you want to do with that layout. But the canal idea works. Actually, it might be simpler if you move the canal just a bit over like this. Yep. So this would give you a good gap on each side. I just thought of something. N scale does not need as much clearance as HO scale. Why did I think of this before? We can absolutely put the 10-inchers there. Yeah, we can put the 10-inch there. 10-inch. 10-inch. And we can even put 2.25s, but not a bridge there. Oops. 2.25. And shove that under there. It does not need the clearance, it's N scale. This only needs 2-inch clearance. So if you make all of this a bridge, like so, which is pretty easy, this is there. So I know this is slightly unconventional, But we can do this. This would solve a lot of issues because it wouldn't have to be close here. You'd have good straights for the bridge over the canal, and you'd get to see your end scale from this side, right? You wouldn't have to look over the train tracks. You could see it from there. So I'll bring back the canal to where it was because it actually works better this way. So, and again, the perk of end scale is it doesn't need as much clearance or space in general. And so I put this as the ON30 being a bridge and the end scale being just open. You can go the other way around and have just this flat and this a tunnel with a window like Dave's layout would be. Both would work. This would be more accessible, but both would work. So I'm gonna send you this file after because I already have your email. And so that would be it. So wow, it's already 10:30. We've been streaming for 2 hours. Okay. So now everyone knows what goes on when I make a track plan. Dave have seen this. Like I said, the amount of times we've been on Discord working on the track plan with some back and forth like this is exactly what happens. But so yeah, that's how I make track plans. Can you take off one of the sidings so I can have more room for my log keeper building? Absolutely. Do you want, just give me a second, do you want to take off the one in the back or do you want to take off the one in the front? Both would work, doesn't matter. Which one would you prefer to keep? The one in the back would give you a bit more storage space because it's longer, but the one in the front would be closer to the track, so it absolutely does not matter. Which one do you want to take off and which one do you want to keep? I can also try to put one in between, but it would not solve your issue for space for buildings. Take off the front, please. All right. So it's gone. This is gone. Just a regular straight. We need HO scale stuff. Inch. Not a bridge. Kevin, stop with the bridges. 9 inch. And now you have space in between. Oh, absolutely, Ward. That's a great idea. Alright, so let's go into simulation mode. Excellent. Model train simulator. Which, this I didn't buy the license, so it's the free version. So it limits you to one train at a time. So let's add this train there. The only problem is, because it's HO scale track, these are HO scale trains. So it's not going to be representative of the size of your trains. No. 3D mode. And power. So this would be what a long train would go. Again, because I don't have the full license for this and it's super expensive, I want the full version, but I need to upgrade my SCARM, so that's like $40 Canadian, and then it's another $60 Canadian for the full simulator when I can run multiple trains and more than one type of trains. But so the donations from TrackPlan software making on this will, other than Mustache Mike's donation towards taking out the misses, other than that one, they will go to buying the more complete version. So that would be the I need to upgrade my SCARM to run multiple trains, but that would be what it would look like when you run the train that way, and obviously works both ways. So we can stop it. It's just gonna go backwards in a second. And we can actually park I think. Go back. Stop. And I don't even know how to unhook train cars in this, but we're not going to talk about it. So let's go forward. Hi, Dougler. So this would be Holly's track plan. So this is... Oh, thank you very much. Oh, wow, Holly. Thank you. Again, I will send you the, I'll send you the file for this, Holly. The file and screenshots of the 2D and 3D versions. So that you'll be able, the file, because it's already built, you will not need to buy the license for this. You will only need to, you can open the file, you just can't edit it because it's over the amount of pieces. So, so you'll be able to work with the file if you want. If you don't, you don't have to, but you will be able to, and we can try to modify it together if you want to do, but I think the main important thing I'm going to show you right now, we're going to stop the train and close this, close the train sim model. Alright, this is done. Now, what I wanted to is this has multiple options, including parts lists. All the parts in the project. This will bring you a web page with all the pieces I used. Of course, you see both scales, right? You see N scale and HO scale. But these are all the pieces I used. This is to take with a grain of salt. Since you already have a bunch of tiny pieces, you don't necessarily need to use what I did. The only ones that matters is the amount of 18-inch curves that are 30 degrees, the regular ones, and the amount of 15 degrees. These two would matter. The turnout, you'd need one, which is that one. Other than that, you don't, the rest can be adjusted. Like the longer straights, you don't have to use longer straights if you already have a bunch of 9 inches. Don't buy 18-inch for when you can use 2 9-inches. When I start from scratch, I try to use the longest piece first to avoid connections, but it's more expensive to buy something you could do with what you... Anyways, long story short, track pieces there are to take with a grain of salt, but... Oh, there you go. And again, Jim has some stuff as well, Holly, so... Depending on what you want to do, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ward. So, this is Holly's track plan. I'm going to save it right now. File, save as. Holly. Simple. No, not simple. I don't like the words. Well, it's not. I don't mind the word simple, but I'm not going to use that. So, Holly. Figure 8 with N scale loop. So I'm gonna send you that, which I just saved, and I'm gonna honestly, we're gonna be able to enjoy this. So I wanted to end around well, 5 minutes ago because I wanted to do about 2 hours. I feel. Give me a list of what is needed. Jim, I'll help you with that, but I need bridges that matches my era. I do have a suggestion for you, Holly. How much do you want to work with balsa wood? The easiest wood to work with. Because I've seen some beautiful builds of people making their own bridges entirely out of balsa wood. Although self hire Kevin this month. No problem, Douglas. Thank you, Great Norton. So we're gonna talk for another 10 minutes, but I don't have time. I mean, I could start something, but I won't be able to finish until midnight, and it's 10:30 my time, right? Keep in mind I'm on the East Coast. I'm willing to try. I don't have any tutorial because I've never made it, but I've seen a lot of great work. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube, Holly, and I do think it would look great. Again, balsa wood is very cheap usually in hobby shops, especially like craft stores. It's the easiest wood to work with. Doesn't need any special tools or anything. You can even cut them with a knife. It might crush the tip, but it's doable. You don't need a fancy saw or anything. And but it's still wood, so it's still structurally sound for the bridge. And because it's actual wood, it already looks like a wooden bridge for your layout, right? You don't have to make it look like wood because it's already wood. So it's really your call. So that could be an option. I'm sure Dave at Thunder Mesa probably let me check. I'm not gonna play his video because I don't want any copyright strike, or just I want to give him the credit. But if I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm curious. Thunder Mesa Railroad Trestle. So I don't know if that's what he used, but I've seen people use it. This is gorgeous. The guy does beautiful work. So this one, this looks like balsa wood on the clip. So I'm gonna send you, like, I don't know if it is, but it looks like it. So I'm gonna send you the link in the chat to that video. Copy. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can very much see it. So that's the link to the video. Might not be the right one, but honestly, I will say follow his instructions for your stuff. It's clearly someone who knows what he's doing, so I don't want to misguide you. Go for something that from someone that clearly knows what they're doing, which this person clearly does. And I watched this video before, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Follow his tips because he's clearly an expert. I'm not, and go from there. But yeah. So I hope you're happy with your track plan. Again, I'm gonna send you all the files so you can work from them. And if you need help, just email me. We might have to do a video or a live stream for help because sometimes it's easier to explain. Hi, Crazy Trains. But yeah. If she uses section tracks, she could use the standard trestle kits Tycho. That's true, Jim. Awesome. I'm glad you do. I just wanted to make sure you were happy with it, and I think everyone else was right, and this is why I like the live stream and the input of multiple people. Maybe the other plan was too much when you're starting, right? A lot of stuff was happening, so it was a good call to simplify it. But I don't think that's bad. You can run a nice little train along this line. You don't have to do tunnels, by the way. I just put that to put them there. You have a nice little storage area for your boxcars. You'll be able to place multiple buildings around. Just making sure. Oh, nice. That's good to know, Mustache Mike. I'll call him if I need something. So yeah, you have multiple options there. You can run your train around. You'll be able to run your end scale around. Let's turn on the train simulator option, model train simulator. But let's put it on the end scale loop instead. Like so. So just to give you an idea there, Holly. Being N scale, it would go slower, but it would go across your canal all around like this. So for your bridges, by the way, there's two options. Bachmann does not do a 10-inch track that is a bridge. You can either make one or get it 3D printed that you could slide the 10-inch piece track on, or it is a little janky, but you can make the cutout bridges work with Bachmann unit track. It's up to you. If you want to go that route, it's possible because the bridge is already made, right? But the way they attach together is a little janky. On the other hand, if you either get it 3D printed by someone or you buy a kit, because there are kits that they sell that you can just put around the track, that would solve you some issue, but you need to glue it together. So how you'd make these bridges, that's entirely up to you. Oh, nice, Eli. Good. So yeah, Holly, for the N scale bridges, I will let you decide what you want to do, but I think this would be a good start. And I'm glad we could fit the canal. Also, another thing to keep in mind with the design, the 1-inch thickness here, that is entirely subjective. You decide. I don't know how deep your pre-built canal is, but I would say just put foam around the canal at the height of how high the canal is, and just level the track and do the inclines from there. That would be the simplest way to go about it, quite frankly. Honestly, the N scale there is nice for the train, but I prefer to run the HO scale train. Let's do this. Oops. 3D. Only an inch or so. I was putting foam under everything. So yeah, well, if it's about an inch, you can get 1-inch installation foam and just use that around it. You just have it cut and you run it. And then you can stick the Woodland Scenics risers underneath. So as you can see there's some cars parked there. That would be representative of your boxcars. And with the train running around, this is, like I said, 4.5-inch clearance. So unless I'm wrong, which let me know if your train are higher than 4.5-inch, this should be the standard for the NMRA. Do not trust the gap that the train has right now, because this is an HO scale train, not an ON30 train, because it doesn't let me choose the scale. It just puts what would work with what scale it would be according to the track. Yeah, surely it's going to get the N scale train on that oval. I mean, that's why the bridges would be there, right, for the straight. I guess, though, Dave is right. There's enough space for this. Oh, right. I'm on the train sim mode. That's what I didn't want. So if we go N scale, which disappeared, and Bachman, easy track. Let's put actually, since you're getting the 2.25, they're in packs with the 4.5. Ask me how I know that. Buying 2 packs online because you don't know they come together. So let's redo the bridge section there. No. So, this is not a bridge either. So this, add a re-railer, an HO scale or N scale, Holly. And is it in a curve or in a straight? Because Bachman has both. So N scale. Okay, is it a straight or a curved one? Straight. That's a 10-inch, right? That's a 10-inch piece. If it's a 10-inch, we just replace one of the bridges with that. I mean, it's not replace. It's still going to be a bridge. But the bridge is also going to be the re-railer. So this is a little close here. I don't like it. Let's bring it down like this. You could actually... Let's remove these two from being bridges. And let's move this down here. These are not going to be tunnel, because you don't want to hide your trains too much. Oh, come on. Like so. No more tunnel. Can make this a tunnel. Like so. How does that make sense, Holly? Yeah, exactly. What Jay said, Holly. Treat it as your guardrail, so it would be one of these pieces. I think it is an option in that. Thank you, Mustache Mike. That makes sense. I thought I had... Oh, here. Well, it's the same piece, so yeah, just... You can do the tunnel, you don't have to. You can do the tunnel, you don't have to. You don't have to put straight pieces on each side. I personally would be fine with putting the N-scale train on the bridge, especially if you use the re-railer piece. It would work just great, quite frankly. But since it's still a bit of a reach-in, it's really not that bad, but slightly a bit of a reach-in. I did put a 5-inch straight here and here. Actually, a 4.5-inch, sorry. 4.5-inch straight there. Do you like this? Is there Kato track to measure radius of easy track, say 15-inch? N scale, yes. HO scale, I don't know, Jim. So you don't have to do these straights, but you can if you want to, Holly. Yes, okay. So this would maximize your runtime. N scale. Yes, there is, Jim. let me go back. Auto unit track and scale. Auto unit track. So it is, so that's 11, 12, 13. I believe this is, yep, 15 right there. 381-30. It's 30 degrees. So it would be this one, Jim, if that's what you're looking for. Well, Holly, it is your track plan, so you do whatever you want. If you think, I think it would be easier to make it a tunnel here and then a bridge there, for to do the train crossing there. But if you want to put a tunnel here, you can. But if you don't want to, you don't. And since there's no train on top here, it's, and when okay, so let me rephrase this. If we make, let's say, this a tunnel again, right? Let's pretend for a second. We're not actually, but let's pretend we were. Since the top of the mountain is completely empty of tracks, right? It's just there. Nothing stops you from having like your whole town or whatever you put on top of it removable. It's your call, your layout. You do it the way you want it. You can put it, you don't have to, but it's an option. And this makes this area very busy and the scenery pretty, how do I say this? Like the scenery pretty much pre-planned. Oh, Holly seems to like the idea of the removable top of the tunnel. I guess we will leave the tunnel there. Bring a high track across the top. You mean just for the, just so we can see the mountain flat and just as a decorative piece, Jim? Let's put Bachman HO scale. Let's put an 18 in, actually 36 inch. Just, this is not actually permanently there. Off the bridge. Bring a high track across to go the top of the tunnel off the bridge. I am so confused again. This is another one of those times where my tiny brain... Oh, this one doesn't work. Give me a second there. Let's put 7 inch. This is just to show you an example. If you put... don't put a track there, Holly. Do not. But if you make a mountain here, you can see it all. It's all going to be flat. Don't. Yeah, that's a bad example. That's not what I meant. It's not what I meant to show. Remove this. So, all right. So let's read the message again and try to think in a different way. Bring a high track across to go on top of the tunnel. Oh, I get it now. Never mind. I understand. But if we do that, Jim, she loses the ability to remove the train, the top of the tunnel, which is what we originally wanted. So Holly, just to give you an example, what Jim was trying to explain to my pea-sized brain is, let's say we put, so HO scale, no, it was HO scale. Let's say we put a turnout here, which doesn't, right now it doesn't work because these turnout have a different, he was suggesting to add something like this not a tunnel, my bad. Oh boy. Let's say 9-inch, 9-inch. And so this was a suggestion. Insulting peas. So this was a suggestion. Here's the few issues with this. One, we need to rework to make that work, but that's fine. And make that a bridge. My issues is this no longer fits because the incline starts there. And it would need to be very high here because this is over the incline. Plus, the whole point of this tunnel was it's a removable top. If we put the track there, it's no longer removable. So I don't know if I'd advise. It's a good idea, Jim, but I don't think in this case it would actually work the way we intended. Just making sure that's what you meant, Jim, by the way. I think it's already plenty busy. Yeah. And this side right now looks empty, Holly, but keep in mind, so it is empty and this is very busy. You guys are all right about this. Keep in mind though, I didn't do the buildings to do the whole scenery, right? This is where right now it looks empty, but once there's buildings, you know what? Let's screw this. We're gonna make it busier. It's just trees, but just that's gonna add some just a little some. So you're gonna put buildings there, right? Don't look. But just this makes a whole lot of a difference, right? So yeah, Dougler, you're not wrong, but it just went from super simple to super complicated by doing that. You could put a yard there. True, we could. Holly didn't want two sightings here because she wanted to show off her buildings, so that's why I'm not putting more more sightings or anything, simply because clearly Holly would prefer to run trains. But that's the way it would go. So yeah, that's what I thought. Holly, you want to display your buildings that I can't wait to see, but I have never seen because you haven't made videos yet. Jim has done his part. He's made his video for you. Now you need to start making videos. It's your turn, Holly. But yeah, so I'm gonna, wow, it's already 11 my time. All right, so I'm gonna have to let everyone go. Say that tonight was a great success. Thanks a lot, everyone, for the donation. There, except one, Mustache Mike's donation. That one's going to the girlfriend, but everything else is going for either track plan software or actual trains. I did promise it would go to the track planning software, so expect in the next time we do this, we will have the upgraded version of the software. And I'm sorry, Dougler. You can watch a replay though. I'm leaving it up. So yeah, this is the final version for tonight. Holly will get. I mean, so Crazy Trains it's not that it's complicated, it's just what helps is knowing the track pieces. You can use mine for sure. Okay, all right, Mustache Mike. No, she deserves it. She's been so good to me. She deserves it. So yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for the donation. All very generous donations from everyone. They're all but one going to Scarm. We'll be live in the morning. Something of it. Oh, I'm excited about that, Dave. Nice. Good night, everyone. Talk to you on Saturday. Actually, I'm doing a stream this Saturday. So see you all on this Saturday. I don't have any video queued up during this week. I do have some stuff to film, but that will be released next week. So have a great night. Thank you all for coming. See you Saturday.